Today, you've sent us the State Careers Newsletter Edition 27, which is packed with potential career paths and opportunities. It's kind of like a cheat sheet for navigating the future.
Exactly. And what's so interesting about this edition is the sheer range of resources. We've got news articles, announcements for upcoming events, hard data about the labor market, and even spotlights on specific employers and universities. It's a real mix, and our job today is to sift through it all and pull out those nuggets of wisdom that can help you, the listener, make informed decisions about your future.
Right. We want to help you figure out what skills you might need to develop, what pathways might be worth exploring, and ultimately, how to make the most of the opportunities that are out there. So let's dive right in. One thing that jumps out at me straight away is the emphasis on alternative career routes. It's not all about going to university these days. There's a real buzz around apprenticeships, for example. There's even an article from thestage.co.uk about theater apprenticeships.
Yeah, and that article really challenges the traditional view of how to break into the theater world. It's not just about drama school anymore. These apprenticeships offer a hands-on way to learn the ropes, and they're not just for those who want to be on stage. You can learn about lighting, set design, costume making, all sorts of things.
So it's a more practical approach, maybe better suited for those who learn by doing.
Exactly. Plus, the article mentions that theater companies are increasingly turning to apprenticeships to address skills shortages. It's becoming a vital part of their workforce development strategy.
Interesting. It makes you wonder if other creative industries might follow suit.
It's certainly a trend to watch.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of different sectors, there's also an event coming up on May 8th that caught my eye. The NHS Health Careers Information Session.
Oh, yeah. This one sounds like a must-attend for anyone even remotely considering a career in healthcare.
I was thinking the same thing. They're going to be giving a comprehensive overview of all the different roles within the NHS, not just doctors and nurses. We tend to think of healthcare as very specific, but there's a whole ecosystem of support roles that are just as essential.
And they'll be discussing different entry points as well, including apprenticeships, graduate schemes, and everything in between.
It's all about demystifying the sector and showing you the variety of paths you can take. Plus, they'll have information about current job vacancies and future trends. So it's a chance to get a real insider's perspective.
I like that. It's not just about theory. It's about connecting you with real opportunities.
Precisely. Now, let's shift gears a bit and talk about higher education. The newsletter features a couple of interesting initiatives at the London School of Economics, LSE. There's the Black Achievement Conference on May 17th, specifically for Year 12 students of Black heritage who are interested in studying at LSE.
I think it's brilliant that LSE is running these kinds of targeted events.
Yeah.
It shows a real commitment to diversity and inclusion.
I agree. It sends a powerful message to students who might not traditionally see themselves represented in those spaces.
Yeah, it's about breaking down barriers and creating a more welcoming and supportive environment.
Absolutely. And for anyone thinking about applying to LSE, they've also got their Explore online subject taster events running in May 2025.
Oh, those are fantastic. I always recommend checking those out. They're a great way to get a feel for what studying at a particular university is actually like.
They give you a taste of the academic side of things with sample lectures, but you also get to interact with current student ambassadors and get tips on the application process. It's like a low-pressure way to experience university life and see if it's a good fit for you.
Exactly. But don't wait too long. The application deadline for these taster events is April 27th of this year.
So get those applications in early, folks. It's always better to be ahead of the game.
Now, shifting focus to something incredibly important, April is World Autism Acceptance Month.
It is, and the newsletter highlights a really crucial point about the autistic spectrum. It's not a linear scale. It's not a case of being more autistic or less autistic.
Right, it's much more nuanced than that.
Exactly. It's a complex combination of different characteristics, and every individual's experience is unique. There's actually a video linked in the newsletter that explains this really well. It's worth checking out.
I think it's so important that we move away from that simplistic view of autism and recognize the diversity of the spectrum. And the newsletter goes beyond just raising awareness. It actually provides some practical suggestions for how to support World Autism Acceptance Month. Yeah, I really like that. There's a guide for exploring job roles that specifically support people with autism, which is fantastic.
It's a great way to connect that understanding with real-world opportunities. Now let's talk about something that's often on people's minds when considering their career paths: potential earnings. The newsletter has a labor market information fact from the BBC that caught my attention. It's about the estimated increase in lifetime earnings with a degree.
Oh, yeah, those figures are always interesting.
They're suggesting that women with a degree can expect to earn around £250,000 more over their lifetime compared to those without a degree.
And for men, it's around 170,000 pounds more.
Those are significant numbers.
They are. Of course, it's important to remember that these are just averages, and there are so many factors that can influence your individual earnings.
Of course, your field of study, your chosen profession, your career progression, all of that comes into play.
Exactly. But it does highlight the potential long-term financial benefits of pursuing higher education. It's something to weigh up against the costs involved.
Absolutely. Now, moving on to the job of the week. This week, it's photographer.
Well, that's a cool one.
The newsletter gives a really nice overview of what the role involves. Capturing images, the different specializations you can pursue, like fashion, advertising, photojournalism, that sort of thing. It also talks about the blend of technical and creative skills you need to succeed.
It's a really good example of a career that requires both sides of the brain.
I agree. And there's a video link that provides more information about potential earnings, typical working hours, and different pathways into the profession.
Always helpful to have that extra context.
Now, for anyone looking to gain some practical experience, the newsletter highlights some great opportunities. There's a virtual engineering and science work experience program with Spectris PLC happening on April 16th.
Oh, those virtual work experiences are becoming so valuable.
I think so too. It's a fantastic chance to get involved with a major science and engineering firm without having to physically be there.
You can work through STEM-related case studies, take a virtual tour of a lab, all sorts of cool things.
And they specifically mention that participating in these kinds of experiences can really boost your university applications. It shows that you're proactive and genuinely interested in your chosen field.
It's a great way to demonstrate that you're going beyond just the classroom.
And then there's Pathway CTM, who run various events to support your career journey. They have an Introduction to Web Development session coming up, one on Teach the Nation to Code, DevOps, and a Discover Your Perfect Career Path in Engineering workshop with AWE for Year 10 students.
I like that they're offering such a range of options, from web development to engineering. There's something for everyone.
Exactly. And the fact that they connect you with UK employers is a huge bonus.
Yeah, it gives you a chance to network and build those crucial connections early on.
Now, alongside SpringPod, they're also highlighting the Forage as a platform for virtual work experience.
Well, I haven't heard of that one.
It seems like the whole virtual internship scene is really taking off.
Which is great. It makes these opportunities much more accessible to a wider range of people.
Exactly. And they're talking about some big names here. KPMG, Citi, Microsoft, Goldman Sachs, Accenture. It's impressive.
It shows that these companies are taking virtual work experience seriously. It's not just a stopgap measure anymore.
Now, for those who are interested in the tech industry, there's a mention of the Google Certified Coder opportunity.
Oh, yes. Google is really making waves in this space.
It's not just about learning to code. They offer career certificates, interactive live webinars and events, resources to learn about tech and AI opportunities, and a big emphasis on developing employability skills.
That's key. It's not just about technical skills. It's about being able to work effectively in a team, communicate your ideas, solve problems.
Exactly. They're giving you the tools to succeed in a fast-paced and ever-evolving industry.
I like that. It's a holistic approach.
And while exploring external opportunities is crucial, it's just as important to understand your own interests and strengths. The newsletter mentions some independent worksheets from East Learning that can help with this.
Oh, self-reflection is so important. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of all these opportunities and lose sight of what you actually want.
Exactly. And these worksheets can help you focus. They have one on researching an apprenticeship and another on explore careers.
Those are great starting points for anyone who's feeling a bit overwhelmed.
They give you a framework to think about your options and make informed decisions.
A little bit of structure can go a long way.
Now, in terms of specific organizations, the newsletter puts the spotlight on DHL and King's College London.
Let's start with DHL. They're big on apprenticeships.
Yeah, they are. They have programs across various functions, from logistics to marketing to IT. They emphasize the hands-on experience and guidance you'll get from experts in the field.
It's a real opportunity to earn while you learn. That's appealing to a lot of people.
Absolutely. And then we have King's College London, a prestigious, internationally renowned university. They highlight their focus on education, research, and driving positive change in the world.
And their diverse student body is another big draw.
I agree. It creates a really vibrant and enriching learning environment. They encourage you to read more about what they have to offer, which is always a good sign.
They're confident in what they have to offer.
So as you can see, this newsletter is packed with opportunities. It's like a launch pad for your future.
There are so many paths to choose from. The question is, where do you want to go?
Exactly. Don't just let this information sit there. Click on those links, do your research, and see what sparks your interest.
It's all about taking that first step.
So here's a final thought for you. We've talked about apprenticeships, university programs, virtual work experience, all these different ways to learn and grow. Which one resonates with you? Which one feels like the best fit for your learning style and your aspirations?
What feels right?
And what's one small, actionable step you can take right now, even if it's just clicking a link, to move you closer to that goal? Don't wait. Explore those possibilities.
The future is yours to create.
That's it for today's deep dive. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.